So I feel like in today's society, I feel like we are not living. So
Yeah.
my question to you is, what does it mean to you to be living or to be alive?
To be alive or to be living, I would say is to be able to experience, to be able to love, to be able to share, and I guess the enjoyment of life, which would be living and experiencing, to be growing, to, I don't know how else to put
How
it,
else to
but
say
it
it?
sounds very simple, but also it's very complicated, I think, at the same time.
Well, why do you think that? Why do you think I mean, it's so simple, but why do you think people have a hard time doing it?
Because I don't think they actually like find joy in the things or the lessons or the ability to learn in just the normal daily grind. And I don't know if that's because of distractions, because of lack of prioritization, or because we just have to constantly work and keep ourselves busy to pay bills, take care of responsibilities, to quote unquote live, which is that actually living. And I think that's kind of what we're getting at is not having to work to live,
Yeah.
or living to work rather, but you have to work to live.
Yeah, I agree. I agree to an extent. And I feel like also a lot of it too is because of fear. People are kind of scared to live. And to live means to go in uncomfortable places, to, I don't want to say spend money, but, in order to experience some stuff, you've got to spend some money.
Right. You got to
And-
step outside your comfort zone.
Right, and take those experiences that you've never done before. Like, example, skydiving.
Right. Yeah.
And everybody.
Great experience.
Yeah, great. Yeah, it's a fun experience. Or living out of a van for 1 month,
Yeah.
and
Which
taking
is
it.
actually very cheap. It's very inexpensive. A lot more cost effective than I thought. So if shit hits the fan and we got to live out of a van, Janita and I will be all right. We'll do some instructional videos on that
We
stuff.
can do it.
Yeah. We'll figure out and watch our how-to. By the way, if you guys like our content, make sure you hit the like and subscribe. Hit the notification bell. Make sure you don't miss any of our content. We appreciate the love and support, guys. Let's keep this going.
But and obviously, people don't want to be out of their comfort zone because they know they're secure. They know they're safe.
Right.
Which all these other experiences have more things to offer than those two things.
Right.
And
Yeah.
that is understanding, you might love to hike or to, I don't know, go duck hunting, or I don't know, there's a lot more things
get
to
out
do
and try
out
different
there.
things. You don't know. You may love it. May have
Yeah.
been missing. I mean, there's always, I think if you go around and you talk to people, everybody has something they wish they would have done, they would have tried, something that sounds cool to them, whether it's a knitting or crocheting class to taking up a gym class, exercising, playing a sport, doing a different activity, painting, doing whatever. I think that's the definition of living, is those new experiences, that growth, that opportunity, to learn something.
Yeah. And the one thing I feel like it's not put out there is the joy and the happiness and the exhilaration to experience new things. Because right now our happiness is a big old house with a big, I don't know, diamond ring and marriage and kids and all these
It's
things
shit.
that actually bind you.
Yeah.
It's
typically shit. It's materialistic things. It's not the experiences. It's not the enjoyment of life, the laughter, the everything that goes with it. I mean, if you can get a big ass house, but if you don't make that house a home, you're not going to have that laughter, that love, that warmth, that it's just a house. Like, it's just a
Right.
thing. So some of those materialistic things, I think you can make enjoyment, purpose, find fulfillment, stuff like that in. But also it's having that experiences, those shared things, like with people, with those that you love, and even with yourself, just to do some self-introspection, do some growth. You can come up with so much more like out of your life through those experiences and learn
Right.
about self.
And you're right. You absolutely are right. Like, in the things that you get, you make it, what you make it. you get a mortgage, you feel like a slave to your job because you've got to pay that.
Yeah, you have those debts.
Or, do you really need a 5-bedroom house when you're a family of 3?
Right.
You know what I mean? Living beyond your needs because, of status or whatever. And sometimes you really don't need that. No. Because I personally grew up in a one-room home and was the happiest I've ever been as a little kid without running water or electricity, and enjoyed the stars at night, every night. And
yeah.
I don't think people know that the simplest things are.
They don't cost. They don't have a lot associated with them.
I feel like that gives you the most joy. Is the most simplest things, and to experience that, I don't know if.
No,
I guess people don't know
fully
that.
support that minimalist lifestyle. Not to have a lot of junk, not to have a lot of clutter, a lot of shit. I mean, it gets in the way. And for those of you that have moved or moved recently, plan on moving, if you're planning on moving, we're sick that day. Most of you know that, knock on wood, we don't get sick, but that day that you're moving, we probably will be. Moving's just not fun. Nobody likes it. But especially if you have a truck. Everybody's like, oh shit, you got a truck, I'm moving. What are you doing, bro? It just goes, you got a truck too, bro. So, but if you're moving, that's what I say, that minimalist lifestyle, you have so much shit. You don't realize how much shit you have, how much you've accumulated, how much you've amassed, until you go to move. And it's like, man, I don't need half of this stuff. And then you sort through it and you throw away a bunch of the crap. Then you move to your new place, and then you're like, shit, I don't even use this crap that I brought. And you get rid of that, and then you buy more crap.
And you realize that you really don't, you're bound to that, but why?
Right. It's a responsibility. It's a tie.
Yeah.
I have my basic necessities. I have the things that make me tick and make me run, and I do indulge in nice things, but they are reliable. They're things that I use regularly. Mm-hmm. I don't amass all the shit. I don't follow the fads. I don't follow the, this is the latest, greatest, coolest things. No, I have my necessities. I have some of them in excess, but it's my necessities. It's things that make me tick, make me run. I know what I need. I know what it takes to operate out.
And most importantly, not keeping you from the experience.
No, exactly. It allows me to have other experiences. Because actually I'm prepped. I've got things in order.
Yes. And you know what? And probably that's the magic of it, is that balance of not having too much to where it, encages you of not having
I don't
those
have a whole lot of shit. I got a whole lot of the right shit when shit is needed.
There you go.
So it's I have an excess of the things that I need, not a lot of other extra shit.
Yeah.
100%
agree.
So I still have my JIC just in case stuff, for other situations. But as far as your basic necessities, those things, I know what it takes to run a Matt Hazen. I know what it takes to run a Matt Hazen and a Janita. So it's and a doofus. But it's
our dog Child's under the table.
Yep.
Just so you guys know. He's our / producer.
Yes, he is. He's lazy. But we have everything, that we need, and we make sure that we just keep, that stuff on deck, so we have our supply and can keep things running without all the extra shit, just laying around, cluttering up our lives, cluttering up our spaces.
So that's a good, so a recap of everything that we've just talked about is, what keeps us alive, and those that experience and through doing, so many different things, it's even tasting food.
Yeah.
That is, eating so many different foods with different flavors from all over the world is.
And being able to travel and experience and do those things, that's the living part. It's not necessarily indulgences, but just experiences and exposure to stuff.
Right. Oh, yeah. And different cultures, because, there's a lot of culture races out there that you could potentially learn from.
There's a lot of cool shit. I think, you can infinitely learn.
Hell yeah.
In anything and everything. I mean, in any aspect. We could spend literally this remaining part of our lifetime learning every single language in the world and not complete that. And that's just on a language and a speaking thing, let alone a learning
the
other
culture.
aspects, cultures, philosophies,
other
different things.
Their history.
Absolutely. it is just infinite as far as like your ability to learn and experience and exposure and travel and do the things that you dream of. You know, whether it is skydiving, scuba diving, doing other experiences that are exhilarating, or if it's just doing it from a history standpoint, checking out architecture, a lot of the historical things. There's a lot of really cool places in the world, a lot of beautiful scenic spots as well. But if that's something that trips your trigger, it's so back to the fulfillment and what does it mean to live is, to me, having those experiences, having that learning, especially sharing it with others, because I think the meaning of life is to have this experience. And as we always talk, it's ultimately learning how to love self. And so how do you do that? And that is, in my opinion, not sitting around complacent waiting for time to expire.
Right. In other words, waiting on yourself to die.
Right. Yeah. Sitting around chilling, just muddling through.
Yeah, and there's a lot. I mean, I can just go on and on about all these experiences, or doing something wonderful with your time. You can do like humanitarian work. Give to others. Go to another country. Give to others. Your
selflessness.
That's selflessness. And it is really true. The more you love yourself, the more you can love others.
Definitely.
That's
100%
I mean, it's like a real magical thing. So recap in what we were talking about tonight, and just how our definition of what it means to live, what it means to be alive. So I like your answers. Infinite ways to live.
Yeah.
If you just allow yourself.